Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Today's guest is Bill Volkmann, and this episode is titled "A Fearless Conversation." And today's and that's exactly what we are going to be having today: an honest, unfiltered discussion about courage, authenticity, growth, and what it really means to live and speak without fear. Bill, I am excited for this one. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Winston.
It's a
I'm
pleasure.
excited to be here.
Thank you so much, Bill. Now, Bill, before we kick things off, can you please tell us more about yourself?
So I have cerebral palsy. As you know, I have a disability, but I call it my accent. I was the first student in New Jersey to go to public school with an intellectual or developmental disability after the EDA was passed. And then I did so good, other kids could go to public school. Um, Now I live in San Diego and I have a business
Oh,
that
wow.
is about making everybody equal because people with disabilities, they don't feel equal with everybody else. And I want to change that.
That's wonderful, Bill. Thank you so much for sharing that. And your business in San Diego, how's the business going? And how long have you
Uh,
been doing it?
where I just started in November, it's going pretty well.
Oh, wow. That's
Uh,
wonderful.
I I started with a good team, and I'm excited to see where this goes.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, Bill, when you say fearless conversation, are we talking about having no fear or something deeper than that? What does fearless truly mean to you?
Well, I think everybody has fear, but when you have fear, you just have to have courage. And my company is called Empower Your Courage. And I believe people with disabilities, but all people, they need to get their courage inside and get that out so they can strive for their goals and their dreams. Because, like I said, I moved to San Diego, I didn't know nobody. I was all by myself. People back east were like, "You crazy, bro. How can you move to San Diego? We got no rewrite and we're going to
Yeah.
disability." And I'm like, I can do it. And it's all about we having courage, having discipline, and having the faith in yourself to
Yes.
do that.
Oh, wow, Bill. Bill, your story is so inspirational. The fact that you're trying to, give people courage. And the fact that you moved all by yourself to San Diego, you started a business by yourself, and the business is thriving. Wow, Bill, you're such an amazing person. Like, I honestly look up to you right now. Oh, wow. I finished college not too long ago. I think it was last year, and I stayed some time because I had a place close to where I go to school. So I stayed there for a while. Then eventually my sister gained admission into the same school I went to, and she needed a place to stay. So I had to give it to her. Then I had to come back home. Currently, I'm home now with my parents, and I've been here for like 3 months or so. And I've been wanting to leave to go to another state in the country that I feel that state has more opportunities, and it will be a much more nicer place to live. Compared, like it's much more open, much more developed compared to where my parents live. So but these past few months, I've just been, it's not like I'm afraid per
Yeah.
se, but that courage to just get up and leave. I've just been planning and planning and organizing and planning. And right now, speaking to you has given me the inspiration that I can literally just get up and just start going instead of just
I,
waiting and planning. Yes.
yeah, it's like when I moved to San Diego, I didn't move here without a plan. like you, I planned it and I researched and I came up with a good plan. And you gotta have a good plan when you're moving somewhere, when you're starting a business, when you're doing anything in life. You
Yes.
gotta have a good plan. And,
Yes, yes.
and like my plan to San Diego was to do what I'm doing now. And, when I was watching TV one time, this man on TV with their phone was congressman. And he goes, if you want to make change in society, it's not in Washington, D.C., it's in Hollywood. So that's why I'm like, okay, I have to go to California. And I put myself in a really good spot, a really good spot. I have so many friends.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. I'm not a friend that means, and it's a really good time.
Come on, I mean, seriously, you've got to have friends. You're very cool dude, honestly. There's no way you wouldn't have a lot of friends. You're honestly one of the coolest dudes I've ever met, for real. You,
Thank
in
you.
fact, you're so cool, man, honestly. So I want to ask you my second question. In your experience, what happens when people avoid hard conversations at work, in relationships, or within themselves? What is the cost of staying silent and not having those hard conversations?
Well, I mean, it's easy to stay silent and not to say what you want to say. But if you want to make change, if you want to not hold anything inside, you gotta have the courage to speak up and to voice your opinion. Cause, in business, before I started my own company, I was in business development. So I was making other companies better.
Hmm.
And, sometimes you get a great idea, Bill. Other times when you come up with an idea, the people that work are like, oh, I don't know that, Bill. And you have to explain yourself and get your point across in a good way so that people understand what you want to do.
That's wonderful, Bill. Thank you so much for that submission. I understand what you mean. Sometimes you just need that courage to actually come out and just speak and say your mind and don't care what people think, essentially, because you know you're doing the right thing and you're saying what you want to say. You're saying what your heart is telling you. And that's just wonderful. So, Bill, so many people struggle between being authentic and being accepted. How, how have you ever had to choose between approval and truth? And what did that teach you?
Well, one of my things that I found out yesterday researching, and I am built differently. That's just who I am. And physically, I'm built different.
Yes, actually.
But, yeah, but what I want to do, um, I ask myself, and people would like it or do not, but I found out if you be yourself, people will like you because you are authentic. And, it's the best way to be because you want to get your point across, you want to get your personality across. The best way to do that is be yourself, be authentic.
Yes, that's wonderful, Bill. I love that idea. The best thing you can be is be yourself, be authentic. And it has a certain kind of originality to it, especially when you try to be yourself. Because it's only by being yourself that you can actually find your special place in this world. And that's just wonderful, Bill. And I'm glad that you've been able to do that. And I sincerely admire you, Bill. Like I said before during the beginning of the show, you're a very cool dude and you're one of the strongest people I've ever met. And that's just wonderful. So,
Thank you.
Bill, you're welcome, Bill. So, we often think courage is dramatic, big moments, big risks. But what does everyday courage look like to you?
So sometimes everyday cards can just, if you don't want to go outside and do something, you gotta live every day like it's your last. Because my parents passed away in their mid 60s from
Wow.
cancer. So
Mm,
I was only in my late 20s when I didn't have any parents, and I think that told me you don't know when your last day is, so just be good and go out and have fun and make
yeah.
an impact. There's other times in my life where I need a lot of cards.
Yeah.
With cerebral protein, you do face some surgeries, and one time the surgery for my neck went bad, and
Mm,
I ended up on a respirator in the hospital in New York City after the operation. And I was in my own school paradise. And I was like, okay, how will I get out of this? I'm in the hospital bed with a respirator. And I'm like, okay, these cards take a lot of cards, but I'm
yes.
going to get out of it. And, it took 2 years to recover. But, I made that commitment that I'm going to recover and I'm going to come back better than ever. And that's
Yes.
what I did.
That's
And
wonderful, Bill. That's so wonderful, Bill. The fact that you said you have to live every day as if it were your last, and and that takes a lot of courage to do that. And given the neck surgery and everything you went through, and you still came out strong, that's just wonderful, Bill. You're actually, like I said before, you're a very strong individual, and I sincerely admire you, Bill. I admire your resolve. I admire your courage. You're a very cool dude, Bill, and that's just nice to see. Wow. So, Bill, fearless conversations require emotional awareness. How can someone speak honestly without being reactive or destructive?
I think you gotta speak from your heart and you gotta choose the correct words. Because, when I talk to my friends and sometimes they want to say stuff to people and I'm just like, you can't say that way because the language that you use and the way that it comes out, um, it has the impact. I can give you an example. It's like, people that don't have a disability, they don't know. And it's not like they don't mean, they just don't know. I had this one conversation with my friend about where I live, and when I live in the EDA, it's such a rural apartment, and the other older apartments are not EDA, and the conversation that I had with her was like, this car is like, when you get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you have to go to the bathroom, because I use a walker to get around. And how would I go to the bathroom if the doorway is not wide enough? like, would you like to go to the bathroom and walk sideways to get into the bathroom? And a light bulb went off in her head. It was like, no, bro, I would not like to do that. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that either. So it's those words, those images that you create in people's head to get your point across. That is the key to a good conversation.
That's so wonderful, Bill. The fact that you said, first off, you have to speak from your heart and you have to make sure that you say the right words. Those are very important. Those are two aspects to be able to communicate effectively and, you know, have a proper conversation with proper emotional awareness. And that's just nice to hear from you. That's wonderful. So, Bill, um, what internal fears tend to hold people back the most? Is it failure? Is it rejection? Is it judgment? And how do you personally move through fear whenever it shows up? How do you move through any of this, the failure, the rejection, the judgment, whenever it shows up?
But I feel like the biggest thing people face is the fear of failure. And I see failure as not like a failure. Because I fail a lot of times, but
Yeah.
it's how you learn your lessons from when you fail. And then you bring those lessons and try again. And you learn, you keep learning. Even if you feel, even if you fail a second time or a third time, keep figuring out your lessons. And eventually you go try it and you go, oh my God, like I did it. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I achieved what I want. So my biggest thing is like, just don't give up. Keep
Yes.
trying, like keep doing it. And also a biggest key I found is you got to stay positive,
Yes.
positive and happy. And even when things are getting bad, like when I was in that hospital bed, like, I was laying on my back, I couldn't move. And I was like, okay, like, this is not good. But, after a couple of days, I think the only way that I'm going to get through this is courage,
Yes.
positivity, and some laughter. And that those three things were the key to my success in life.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that, Bill. The fact that you said one has to, it's the fear of failure, first of all, and one needs to have the courage to fail and fail and fail and continue failing until you eventually get it right. And the fact that, oh my God, Bill, you're such a wonderful individual, honestly. It's a pleasure to meet you, Bill, once again. I have to say it. You're so strong. That's a beautiful thing to see. You've
Well,
given me an idea and a context of just how much a human being can achieve and strive for if they are just strong enough, and that's very wonderful to see. And the fact that you went to hospital and you went through all this and you still came out on top and still have the courage to come and tell the world your story is such a very, in fact, Bill, it's such a pleasure to host you. And I'm really happy that you came on my podcast. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, and it's very wonderful.
yeah, 'cause I feel like I live in Southern California and I talk to students at universities around here. Yes, I talk about disability,
Yes,
but I also talk about being positive, being compassionate, being
yes,
hopeful, and
yes,
that makes a big impact. And I was like, okay, like how can I do this video because, you can only talk to college kids for an hour or talk to people for an hour. So we have social media. So
Yes,
I started my own Instagram, um, my own Instagram account that is
yes,
all about positive motivating and about me. And
mm,
my Instagram handle is at William/Volkmann. And that's really a powerful tool to show people me and how to get their courage to do what they want in life.
yes. So if I got it right, Bill, your Instagram is William/Volkmann.
It's William underscore.
Okay, underscore Volkmann.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wonderful, Bill. I'm definitely going to check out your Instagram. Definitely, I'm going to give you a follow. So
Like,
I have a set of rapid fire questions I want to ask you. You can either answer with a phrase or a sentence. So the first one is one word that defines courage.
never giving up.
Okay.
That's more than one word,
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry,
but
I said a phrase or a sentence. So even then, okay, it's more than one word, true, but a phrase still works. Never giving up, and that's actually true. If you don't give up, you're actually very courageous. Thank you so much for that, Bill. So, one fear most people need to confront.
I think most thing people need to confront is everybody knows what they want to do. Everybody knows their dream in life, but everybody is kind of like, how do I do this? Or how do how do I take advantage of what I want to do? And the biggest thing I can say is just try. Then try and you got that you will fail, but eventually you will succeed. And
Yes,
and I feel like people that don't take a chance to do what they want to do or live their dream, they become bitter inside because
yes,
they want when they wanted to do something, but they were too afraid. So that's why I want to change people's attitude, not be afraid, have courage.
yes, yes. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Bill. So, Bill, a mindset shift that you think builds confidence.
The mindset is I had to go back to being a positive person.
Yes,
Positivity can unlock so many things. And I feel like if you stay positive, yeah, even me, like sometimes I'm like, this sucks or this is not right. But you gotta take that and turn that into positive courage to
yes.
get back and to do what you want to do.
Thank you so much for that, Bill. Thank you. That's so wonderful, Bill. So, Bill, this is my final question for today before we wrap up. If someone is listening to you right now and they are avoiding conversations they know they need to have, what would you say to give them the courage to have that conversation?
I think really don't be afraid of confrontation. Like I say, you gotta choose your words wisely, and you gotta phrase your conversation in the correct way. And if you can have that and empower your courage to talk to that person, and get that off your chest and out of your heart. That's the key to unlocking happiness. Because people tend to bottle everything up. Like I can tell you, my mom was a wonderful woman.
Oh wow.
She did everything for me. And she got me into public school. She had to fight. But inside of her, she holds a lot of things in. And I think that was one of the factors that caused her to get leukemia. Because
Oh
you have to worry, you can't hold things in. You gotta let them out. And you gotta keep letting them out. Because it's better for your body. It's better for your soul. It's better for your mind. So
yes,
the biggest thing is just talk to people, talk to your loved ones, get out what you feel, 'cause you will feel a lot better, and that's a more healthy life that you can live.
thank you so much, Bill. That was a wonderful submission. Like you said, the more you bottle it in, the more it hurts you. You need to let it out and lift that weight off your chest. Then you cited an example of how your mom was keeping a lot of things, which eventually contributed to her having leukemia, which is so very sad. I'm so sorry about what happened, Bill. But it's nice to say that, oh wow, that amidst everything you've been through, you were able to rise above all of them and become the wonderful person that you are today. And honestly, you're an inspiration to me. And by the time I publish this episode, if okay, let's assume I've already published it and everyone is listening. Bill is one of, if not the coolest guest I've ever had on the podcast, and I admire him so much. And it's a pleasure to host you, Bill. Bill,
Well,
please,
I just want to say,
yes.
hopefully this year, I wrote a book about my life, and hopefully this
Oh
year
wow.
I
Yes.
can get it published.
Oh
And
wow.
I think the biggest thing is when I go into publishers, they look at me and they see
Yes.
a guy with a disability. But I think my CP does not define who I am.
Yes. Yes.
And I think this book goes into a lot of different facets of life. And,
Yes.
it's kind of takes part of my life story and I turn it into a positive impact for people to take out of. Like I have my friends read your book, and one friend is a mom with a 2-year-old. Another friend is a college student. And they are telling and they don't have a disability. They all got something out of the book. And I feel like when the book comes out, it will,
Yes.
it will, it will help a lot of people.
Actually, it will. Yes. So, guys, please make sure you get. I think you said it will come out before the end of the year, right? You
Yeah.
publish. Yes. So make sure to
Yeah.
get Bill's book. It's going to be just speaking with Bill alone is inspirational. So imagine reading his book. It must be beyond inspirational. Bill, it's been such a pleasure to have you. Aside your Instagram, Williams underscore Volkmann, which other place can my audience and my listeners reach out to you?
Well, if we have TikTok, you can follow me at Bill Volkmann on my TikTok. And
Okay.
then I'm starting to have a website, and the website is www.empoweryourcoach.com.
Oh wow.
We already have a lot of content on that website too.
Oh wow, that's wonderful. So guys, you can meet Bill on TikTok at Bill Volkmann or on his website www.impartyourheart.com. Bill, it's been such a pleasure to have you. I honestly enjoyed this conversation. I enjoyed meeting with you and I enjoyed becoming your friend. And it's such a pleasure to meet you, Bill. Please do take care of yourself. Continue killing it, continue winning, continue growing, continue prospering, and do have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me on.
Anytime, Bill. Anytime. And I really hope that we can do this again some other time.
Yeah, let's do it when my book comes out and you can read it and we can talk about it.
All right, Bill. Take care of yourself, Bill. See you
You
then.
too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.